guys, welcome back to Cool Conversations.
Your favorite podcast on ice, live from the Gerber family studio.
Yes, this is our first time filming at home, which is so exciting. We've been traveling, and today we actually have two guests with us that are sisters. They do look like twins, so that gives you guys a little bit of a hint. They share their curly hair journey, lifestyle content, beauty, makeup. They pretty much do it all. Welcome, Malia and Kenzie.
Oh, thank you for having us. Oh my gosh.
Seriously, and I'm so glad that you guys live in Arizona.
I know.
It was 20-minute drive. I was like, hey, Arizona.
I know, and the studio is so cute. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love the green, everything.
Thank you guys so much for having us. I'm so excited for today.
Yeah, me too.
Well, before we get into it, you guys know we have to do our icebreakers. So let's hit the ice.
Okay.
Yeah.
This isn't too slippery.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's pretty like you can, yeah.
Yeah, just a little wiggle. Yeah.
You feel comfortable?
Yeah, I think so.
So we're gonna teach you guys. You guys are pretty stable. You're not falling over.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So we're gonna teach you back wiggles. I think this is, I don't know how you're gonna feel. I feel like they're pretty easy. So you're gonna start backwards and you're just gonna go like this. And this is
Oh my gosh.
the first way to like get someone to start skating backwards.
Wow, you made it look so easy.
You looked like, I was like a little salsa. Okay.
It's
Yeah,
all,
there
all
you
in the
go.
hips.
Ooh.
All in the hips.
There you go.
There you go.
I feel like a grandma. I know, like I'm trying to dance, but I can't like.
Yeah, you remember that trend on TikTok where people...
Oh yeah, yeah, that's literally it.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. I guess it is on the hips. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
I know you like made
Try
it so
a variation.
effortless.
Try like this.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right.
So now we're gonna do a 1 foot glide, which is just, you're just gonna take one big push and lift your foot. They can go together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sure. I'm like...
So I start, like, this is called a T position. Yeah, and then you're gonna take one push, and then you can take another push, and then you lift your foot.
I'm like, I'm so.
Woo, there you go. Yeah.
I'm like, which way should I push on?
It's actually funny.
And woo, there you go. So you're gonna put your toe in, and you're gonna turn the opposite direction. I always let people see which way feels more natural to them.
Okay.
To me, it feels the most natural to turn to the right, and then to pull in. This way. So yeah.
Think of sweeping the table.
Yes.
Okay.
Sweeping the table. Exactly.
I used to do ballet, so I'm like, I've done it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So there you go.
Not on skate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Point?
Yeah. I put my toe in, and then I twist my body to the right, and I pull in to the left.
Okay, so you don't like stay on your toe.
No.
Oh, it's like.
Yeah. And then. Yes.
She died.
That is great.
Okay, I think I can do one more.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, can I? Let's see.
Yeah.
That was good.
What do you guys think about trying a Walsh jump? I think a Walsh jump. Yeah. So basically for the Walsh jump, you're gonna start this way and you're gonna jump from forwards to backwards.
All in 1 foot.
Yeah, I just don't know if I can do that.
I might die.
So you push off, you start on 2 feet, you push off, you skate on 1 foot, and then in the air you jump and you switch feet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You think
I'm like, I guess we'll try.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I see you guys do it again?
Yeah. So you're gonna start. I remember this T position. Yes. And you're gonna to make it really easy. You can just do this.
Oh yeah.
And then
Stay on top.
eventually we can add a hop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually add a
Yeah. Yeah.
That's some speed too.
That was good. Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was great.
The
for
jump,
you.
the jump kind of helps. I feel like.
Yeah.
That was like a good tip.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just kinda like full
a
send it,
little
like-
jump.
Full send it.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at full sending things. Okay.
Here, I'll help you. I'll
Okay,
take
so
your
it's
hand.
this one forward? or
Yeah,
this?
yeah, and then you're gonna hop to backwards. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. Wow!
try.
You want to try?
I'll try.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a lot easier when you're there.
Yeah.
I feel better about that.
Yes.
You jump? Yeah, we're gonna switch. Yeah.
Like 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, we can do 3, 2.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Hey, we did it though.
Yeah. Yes.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah! I'm like, I definitely did not lift my leg. I know, mine barely.
So you're gonna go like this, and just one time under. So like this. Woo.
Oh yeah, I think we can do that.
Yeah.
Do you
Okay.
want to spin me? Sure.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go? I'll go around that way. So like, I'll start that way.
And go. Yeah.
That's actually fun.
Yeah. Do you want to try spinning?
Sure.
Yeah?
Do you want to be on this side or? I'll be on the other side. Okay.
Side. Okay.
This is, I can do this. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Whoa.
Majestic. Ladies and gentlemen, Malia and Kenzie!
One of the first videos I actually saw of you guys was you guys counting down on your birthdays and blowing out the candle. And people are like, wait, what? I'm confused. So can you explain the twin dynamic?
Yes.
sure.
So we're actually not twins. We're a whole year and a day apart. So my birthday, our birthdays are actually coming up. I'm going to be 21. I'm going to be 21 September 7th, and then she's going to be 20 September 8th.
A year and a day
Yes.
apart.
So I know you guys
We're
aren't
used to
twins,
it.
but
We're
everybody calls you twins. So you guys are like, what do they call it? Irish twins?
Yes.
Yes, Irish twins.
Irish twins.
When you're in like within a year of each other. So we don't even make that because it's a day.
Right. We missed the cutoff.
So I mean, we kind of are though.
It's funny because everyone says that, and then some people say it's a year and 6 months that are Irish twins. So I just kind of let everyone else decide to put labels on us because we're sisters.
And we grew up too, like we grew up doing everything together. I literally had a year by myself and like I don't remember it. So I'm like, we're basically twins. Like we act like twins. It's just the year difference.
We actually grew up. We were in the same grade. And
Wow.
all throughout, we were homeschooled until 6th grade. So throughout elementary, our mom was like, let's just throw them into the same grade and we'll teach them the same stuff. And so we grew up with all the same friends, and we were basically like twins.
Yeah.
That's
Mirror
great.
images, yeah.
So do you guys have that twin thing though?
Yes,
We do.
we have the same voice for the most part, and then we also we like the same stuff and we talk at the same time. So
Okay.
that doesn't help because people will be like, "Oh, are you guys twins?" And then at the same time we'll be like, "No, we're a year and a day apart."
Like,
So then they're like, "Okay, whoa, like I don't know if that's true."
That is so funny. I mean, looking at you guys too, obviously because it's only a year apart, as you became adults, I'm sure people are like twins for
Yeah.
sure.
what though? As kids, I felt like we looked even more similar. I think as we
Yeah.
got older, we have the same exact hair right now.
Yeah, so that doesn't help.
But when we were younger, I think we looked a lot alike because she got highlights in her hair.
Oh,
So
okay.
before we had the same hair color and
Wow.
everything. So yeah.
Now we look like slightly different.
And you guys have another sister. How old
We
is
do.
she's your younger sister, right?
She is 15.
Yes.
She'll be 16 in December. But she
Aw.
looks like people think she's our triplet.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
she looks they look all alike. Like it's pretty wild. Like your mom gave birth to the same kid.
Well, there's actually 4 of us. We have another brother and he's younger. He's 17. So
Oh,
she
wow.
had 4 kids within 5 years. And I was like, I don't know
Wow.
how you did it, girl, because that's
That's a
crazy.
lot. I was like,
Does he look like you guys?
He does. We all like look like copy and paste of each other.
Genetics, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It's crazy because some siblings like look nothing alike, you
Right.
know? So you
Yeah.
kind of just, it's 50-50.
And then there's
I
you
guess.
guys, you know, like this
Call the
4-year
same.
window.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Exactly. It's crazy.
So how did you guys are content creators, and I feel like you're on all the platforms and you talk about your curly hair. How did you guys get into social media? Who was the one who was like, let's try or let's
Oh
get
my
into
gosh.
it?
This is kind of a funny story. So I remember it was 2019, right when TikTok kind of started. I feel like everyone kind of has the same story, right?
Yeah.
No one knew what TikTok was. And we were actually not allowed to have social media until like that summer.
Oh wow.
So,
Yeah.
And we were working a lot. We were still in school, so we were pretty busy. But I remember telling Malia, I was like, we should try. Just do one little TikTok dance. It's not going to mean anything. And she's like, TikTok's cringy.
I was like, I don't know. And I remember I like downloaded the app and then I got really addicted. So then I was like, okay, I just like deleted it and I was like, I don't want to go on in this anymore. And she was like, let's just do a dance video. And I was like, I don't know. And then she's like, let's just do it. I'm like, okay, we'll do it. And then like the next night we got 60,000 views literally overnight. So we were like, what the heck? We just did like a little dance video. And
we don't even dance.
Yeah, we don't even dance. But she was like, we should just do it in sync and everything. And like people loved it. And I think after that, we didn't really post consistently for like a few months. And then November 2019, we did a video duetting actually Charli D'Amelio and her sister because they kind of look similar. And that video went crazy viral. And
everyone said that we were Charli and Dixie on dark mode. That was like,
yeah. So we were like, oh wow, like it was kind of funny. It was really funny. Like the comments did not disappoint. I was like, wow, y'all really go in.
And that was kind of what encouraged us to keep going and making consistent content. So like that day forward. Not that we haven't missed a day, because we've missed days, but we've pretty much posted every day since then. So
consistently,
I remember going to Christmas in 2019 and telling our grandma that we had 50,000 followers on TikTok. And she was like, what's TikTok? So everyone
so we had to explain to everybody, and it was crazy, but here we are.
What really stuck too was the fact that we weren't twins. Yeah. And that really grabbed people's attention because we look so much alike. Yeah. And that's kind of what we stuck with.
That was kind of our niche in the beginning too. Like we just do a ton of sister content. We still do, but like now it's a lot of different things like lifestyle, hair, beauty, all of that.
Yeah. Do you guys do videos on your own or like do you find that you depend on each other to have those sister videos, or can you do your own content?
We sometimes do our own content, but we mainly try to stick together with, especially our main channel is like TikTok and everything, but we try to film most of the things together because we always are together.
Yeah. So for the most part, there are a few things I think that we post separately and our Instagrams are separate.
Yes.
So that's one thing, like we're a little bit more, individual on our Instagram.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Cool. Yeah.
And you feel like for your content, when you guys are creating, who's the one who's like coming up with ideas, or are you guys both coming up with ideas?
She's only asking because it's her that does it for us.
It's funny. I feel like we both come up with ideas, but sometimes Makenzee's like, oh, like we should do this. We should do this. She has a lot of like, I feel like that's what's cool about us though. We have like different minds. So I feel like we work really well together.
We're almost opposite. Okay. And
that's
most
great.
People looking in couldn't see that.
Yeah.
I feel like, but in an interesting way, I feel like we're opposites because I'm more of the planner. Like I make sure that we have like a content schedule and we have everything ready and we're ready to film on certain days and stuff like that. So I think I'm more of like the pusher, but then she's also very creative as well. So I think that also adds a lot to our dynamic.
But she's also creative too, so it's nice to like bounce ideas off of each other. It's honestly nice to have two people because then it's like you both kind of work together and someone's strength is someone else's weakness, but like it
100%.
meshes nicely,
Yes, we have a very similar dynamic. We've always worked together, and a lot of people are like working together as a couple. They're like, oh, is that a lot? And it is a lot, but you're right. Like just having someone to be like, hey, what do you think of this? And like being like, that's not a good idea. That you can trust.
That's funny.
Kind of as your coworker is nice. So you guys are now like in social media. Are you guys doing this like full time? Do you guys do anything else?
Yes, we've been doing this full time for like what, 3 years, 4 years?
Since we graduated. So I graduated high school at the end of 2020.
Yes,
so
me as
December
well.
2020. I mean, it's crazy to even say that it's our full-time job because I never thought that we would do something like this. I think when we were younger, we would make like silly little YouTube videos and we would always put on like performances and like singing and dancing stuff for our parents and our grandparents. But I never thought it would be something we would take
into like a career,
into a career or a job. And I think that now looking back, I'm like, oh, it
makes sense.
It
makes
happened.
sense.
It
Yeah.
happened. And I feel like in a timing that really worked well for us, and we're just blessed to even be able to do this.
Well, I feel like it really fell into place too, like perfectly, and that's what I'm so grateful for as well. But it was cool too because we were actually in online school for I think sophomore to senior year. So we did online, and then that gave us more time to work. So we would just work from like 6 or 3 to 6, and then we do school.
school.
Yeah, after
In the
school.
morning.
So it was nice because we could get school done like super early
Then you have time to
work and do
create
whatever.
content. Yeah.
And then once we started doing like TikTok and everything, we were like, okay, well, we should take this full time. And we were in high school too, so we didn't really need to work, which was kind of a blessing in disguise because I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
like let's just take it on.
I remember we were working at a daycare for 2 years, and in March 2020,
Yeah.
it was right around the time we were even thinking of quitting. And so
Oh.
it worked out like
quitting
quitting
the
the
daycare.
daycare.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
we worked at a few other jobs too. So I think we were doing a lot at that time. And I was like, oh, you know what? I think we should take the risk on not making like consistent money right
Mhm.
now, but really diving into content creation because this could be a really cool thing for our future. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what and our parents were so supportive. Our dad's an
That's great.
entrepreneur.
That's great.
And I feel like we might have not made that decision if our parents
Yeah.
weren't so supportive. So
Mhm.
having that foundation and like that rock to kind of lean on was so valuable for us.
Especially coming like out of high school too,
Mhm.
like to have somebody who's like supportive and letting you guys really fulfill your dreams without feeling like, oh, you have to go do one specific path or that, 'cause
Right.
that's the way to success. So I feel like having somebody support you guys right off the bat, and also just like being high schoolers and like having the motivation to keep going and
Yeah.
like stay on top of it. Cause I mean, we started and we're almost 30 something. And
What do you say? You're a young buck.
I'm a
You're-
young buck. I'm 30 and Peter's 31. It's a lot, like with the emails that come through, it's a lot to
Right.
organize to get to the point where you are doing this, you know, full time. You have to make sure that you set up like your management and you get
Right.
good management. And how do you know if it's good management? And all of those different things
That's so true.
are part of the process. So you guys did that so young. And I think that's so impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think honestly too, because our dad was there. Like,
Yeah.
he helped us write our first invoice,
So many
go through our
things.
contracts, our emails. So I was 15 when we started. Like I didn't know how to look through a 15-page contract.
Right.
Yeah, and plus
So
the wording
much.
is crazy. I'm like, what does this
It's
even
not
mean?
for you to understand.
Yeah, and that's the trick. I'm like, they're tricky, they're sneaky.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And same thing with what you said about management, because I did the emails and I feel like the admin work for the first 2 years. And then once we moved out last April, we were like, I think it's time that we take on management because we were getting too busy. I was like, I can't do everything all at once with like the emails and negotiating with brands
Yeah.
and talking to brands. And I think brands take you more seriously as well once you do have a team around you. And
Like a
that's just-
representation.
so I think that was a good point for us because we had a really good manager. We went on like 30 calls over the past 3 years. So before we even signed with anybody.
Oh, you guys-
At
went
that
through-
time, 17, 18. Like,
Uh,
still
we
young.
moved out, I was 18, but when we
18.
started talking with management,
Yeah.
We were
I was
17 and
probably
18, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I just didn't, a lot of people were very pushy and like, oh, we need to sign now. You know, we're going to do so much for you. And that rubbed me the wrong way, rubbed both of us the wrong way. We were just like, oh, you know, I think we're doing okay. And, you know, we can do this ourselves for now. And want somebody that really, really can provide a lot of value
Mhm.
because they're taking a portion of your income. So
Yeah.
they have to really be, you know, providing value and
Yeah.
doing that for you to make it worth it. So
And I think the thing is not being desperate because companies can see when you're desperate and they're like, oh, you know, we'll get them and then they'll kind of mooch off of you. But we didn't want that. We wanted to be like in addition to what we were doing and for it to make sense.
Right.
So-
And that's so great because I mean, I've heard of, you know, people signing their contract with management. They don't do anything and they're stuck in it for like 2,
Yeah.
3 years. And
Yeah.
you're like, dang, like, you know, we also were very fortunate with our management. We tried to go to one manager and it didn't work out. And I'm grateful that it didn't because we stumbled across this other management that had reached out and they have been amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
that's awesome. Well, congratulations.
I
with
know.
that.
Thank you.
Shout out Jenna and Catherine.
Oh, yeah.
You're like dream team.
It's always nice to have like a manager that's just like a perfect fit and you actually like
Mm-hmm.
them too. It's like you can trust them and that's what you kind of need, you know?
Especially when
It
you're
is.
talking daily with this person. Like you want to have a
Yes.
good relationship and almost view them as part of your life, not just in a business way, but in a relationship way too. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to feel like you're uncomfortable bringing, I mean, cause it's your money. It's, you know, it's
your livelihood.
Yeah.
Right? So-
Exactly.
Yeah. For sure.
But I just really got to say, like, at such a young age, your guys' drive, your passion, you know, the way you were handling your business, you know, taking the reins for your future. Like that's amazing to hear. Like,
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do think it's so awesome. And I think for young people too, like I'm super excited for you guys and your podcast.
Thank you.
I love the idea. I love the concept. So who came up with the idea?
A lot of people like moving into the podcast realm, but also our main thing is TikTok and like short form content. And people can't really see like us as a person and our personalities. Like they can see snippets of it, but it's not the whole thing. So I think with podcasting,
genuinely and authentic.
Yes,
I feel like from a 2-minute long, 30-second long, 1-minute long video.
yeah.
they like to think they do.
Yeah,
they
people do. They
Yeah.
think they do. And I think with the podcast, it was like we could really open up, be ourselves, and kind of just share like our experiences and hopefully like help our audience with like curly hair tips, like relationship stuff, like all of that, just things that we've been through in life. And just, I think having that as an open space to talk about. And it's longer form too. So it's really like, we kind of call it like a slumber party vibe. So we want like all the girls to come and we can just all listen, like chat, hang out, and just talk about like real life stuff, you know? And that's something that we take very seriously, is just being genuine and authentic, because some people aren't on social media. Like a lot of people can pretend to be, you know, whatever they want.
I don't know how you can fake a personality as your career.
Right? Yeah.
I don't know.
At what point does that fake personality become the real one? You know?
Yeah. I'm like, that would be really hard to keep up with, you know?
It would. Like you always have to, you know, turn it on kind of thing versus just, you know, showing up as who you are. So we haven't said the name of your podcast. Do you guys want to talk a little bit about it? And like,
she came up with the name, and I'm still so grateful because I'm not creative in that sense. We both wanted to start the podcast, but she's like, what if it's like big sis energy? And I was like, wait, that's perfect. I was like, because obviously we're sisters, and I think our main goal with our podcast is to give advice to people that are like our younger selves.
Yeah.
Like 15-year-old Kenzie, 14-year-old Kenzie, who was going into school, who straightened her hair consistently and constantly. And I watched YouTube videos.
Yeah.
I
we both
am
did.
so grateful for the YouTube girlies out there who taught me how to do my curly hair, and they don't even know me. Like it's like you can really be inspiring to somebody else without having a personal connection with them in person, you know, face to face.
Yeah.
And I don't take that for granted because they taught me how to do my curly hair. I remember the videos of like how to survive the first week of high school. Like even videos, you know, just tips about life and going from a teen to a young adult and becoming like a strong woman too. That's really our goal, and having other strong women on the podcast as well.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's, sorry, go ahead.
I just had a quick question. Have you guys met any of these people since you've gotten in the content creation space that like, has that been such a full circle moment for you?
It's been insane. Like I remember actually at the Briogeo event, the hair event that we went to, it was their 10-year anniversary, and I saw one of the girls that I watched for years on YouTube, and I was like, I learned my curly hair from you. Like it's kind of surreal because I'm just like, what? Like
you feel like you know them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we have a genuine connection, but they don't know me. I've never met them before.
It's crazy the impact they have on like someone else's life, like my life. And then I think about that like to other people. I'm like, if I can help other people with their curly hair or just like whatever advice I have, like that's awesome.
It was the coolest moment because so we've been working with Briogeo, and they're, oh my gosh, like the best team of women. Like I could not imagine a better team. And when we got to really meet them and have genuine conversations with them, I just like fell in love with their whole team. And so for their party, it was their 10th year, like we said, their 10th birthday.
Yeah.
And it just really warms my heart because these are the people that
they're behind the brand. Well, it's cool working with a brand that everyone's so genuine and like the team is nice and you can get along with everybody and it feels like a family. Yeah. It really does feel like a family, and it's nice to be a part of a company like that.
Yes. And they told us on that night that we were doing a meet and greet, and we knew we were doing a meet and greet, but we thought it was all the girls from the campaign because I think there was 8 girls. And they're like, oh, it's just you guys, by the way.
And we were like, what? I was like, you're kidding.
You guys are the stars.
Yeah. I was so nervous because I was like, okay, all of my, you know, intrusive thoughts, like what if no one comes? You know, what if, you know, I'm just genuinely nervous about this whole thing. And we get there and there's like a line of people, and I was like,
waiting for you.
You guys are
like
us.
Unbelievable.
And one of the girls that we talked to, she said that she straightened her hair all the time and she didn't start her curly hair journey until she saw our videos. And like I almost bursted into tears because I was like, that's always been our goal.
Right.
You know? So-
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you guys you're so young and inspiring, and I feel like it's honestly, it's very refreshing to see. And I feel like, especially when you think of social media and you're like, you really don't know these people, you know,
Right.
like you don't know if everyone's genuine. You don't know if they are creating content with your best interests at heart. You don't really know if when the camera goes off, if they are nice people, you know,
Right.
it's like
It's
genuine
scary.
at heart. It is kind of scary.
Yeah.
And then you go out and you're like meeting these people. So it's just so nice to see such young, beautiful women that are hoping to inspire other women with their videos. And I'm sure you guys are I know you guys already are. And like you've met these people in person and they're just, probably were just in awe and you're like, oh.
It was crazy. I mean, as soon as we walked out of the car, I wanted to cry, but I had cried at so many other events that I'm like, Makenzie?
Yeah, literally in front of the
Put it
billboard,
back.
I have a picture of her, and she's like in front of the tripod blotting her makeup because she's like, we have to take pictures.
Because I'm like, there's just no way that, for one, that we're on a billboard, but for two, that we're
Yeah.
on a billboard for our curly hair. I think that for us, 5 years ago, if you asked us if we were gonna wear our natural hair, we would have said no. Like,
Yeah.
we were around so many people that had straight hair, and I just felt so different being, you know, having curly hair. 'Cause
Yeah.
no one else did.
It takes a long time. I mean, I wore weaves for years, so many years. And even when I met Peter, and I was kind of forced into my curly hair journey because I got a job on a cruise ship. And like, I'll never forget, Peter took me to go get my weave redone at this lady's house in some random city at like
In the middle of the
8
night.
o'clock.
Yeah.
And he
Oh my
was like, oh my
gosh.
God, this girl's never coming back. Like, we just started dating.
Oh my
and
gosh.
so I had to wear my curly hair because there was nowhere for me to get my hair redone.
Oh,
so
Okay.
I just had to learn how to do it and figure it out. And I felt like you were just like so supportive through that journey and very much so like, okay, what do we need? Like, oh, I saw a hair salon because we were.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah, like, oh, I saw a beauty supply store. Like, do you need a stuff? Do you need products? Like, always just kind of like really helping and supporting me through that journey.
Oh, I love that. That's really cute.
It's just, you never know like who can be so influential and like getting you into being comfortable in your
Yeah.
own skin. So I think it's so great that you guys are.
Comfortable in my skin.
Especially with like a partner too, like somebody
Yeah.
who really wants to uplift you and support
Yeah.
you throughout any part of your life. That's so awesome.
It's
Aw.
I love
You guys are
that.
so cute.
I know. I'm like, Anna, you guys are matching too. I love it.
I definitely feel like curly hair is such a big topic, especially for not even just for women of color, but I do think particularly for women of color.
Right.
And so at what point did you guys say like, okay, I want to do my curly hair? Did you guys do it together? Like,
Yeah.
do
So it's
everything
actually,
together.
yeah, we always do everything together, just like twins. But we actually didn't tell the story, but we got taken out of high school our freshman year, kind of just for doing like, you know, typical high school things. And our parents took us out and we ended up doing online school, like we said before. But yeah, we did online school and we were just like, let's just take this opportunity. We don't see anybody and we're at home. Might as well
completely
wear
isolated
like, I'm like,
from
might as, yeah,
everyone
we don't
our
have any
age.
peers really that are our age, because the kids in school would always make fun of us and be like, oh, why is, like, if I would to ever wear my hair curly, they'd be like, oh, it's so frizzy, like, and then you know, they always make comments. So then, like, of course, the one time I wear it curly, I'm like, okay, I'm never wearing my hair curly again.
right.
And then you know, in high school too, but I just, once we got taken out of that, I was like, might as well just try our curly hair, because it's discouraging too to not know how to do it. And then you're just like, okay, I'll straighten it, like whatever. But I was determined to figure out how to do it, and it did take time, like watching YouTube videos, doing research, but I'm glad that we took the time to do it, because now I know how to do it. And
yeah.
help other people
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I think for me, I had so much damage that my hair at the top would be super flat. So I had no volume. So it's just like straight curls, and then the ends were straight
Stringy.
and stringy. So like it was so damaged because we
Yeah.
would straighten it every week, and then we'd do touch-ups because we played basketball.
Oh,
And
okay.
we would sweat out our hair, and I'm like, how did we keep it for a week? I just don't know. But we did. But we used a lot of heat.
Yeah.
So I think our hair was just done. It was
Well, because it was like years of straightening, because I started straightening my hair in 6th grade, but then on top of that, I'd use a curling wand.
oh,
And
wow.
I
So
was
you
like,
were
I fried my hair. Like, it was done. It was
I thought there was
bad.
no coming back. So if you have curly hair out there and you think that there's no coming back, if there's a will, there's a way.
Yes.
You can do it. You can do it.
And I feel
You
like
have to
too,
put down the heat.
you have
Right.
put down the heat, and even you don't even have to do a big chop. I know a lot of people are thinking like, oh, I have to chop off all my hair, but like even as it grows out and you're wearing it curly, just like snip off a little bit at a time. Like it doesn't have to be anything crazy.
Drastic.
That's what we kind of did. Like it was just a little bit at a time, and then eventually your curls start to thrive and they're shiny and they start to look good.
Yeah.
And it's rewarding too. I feel like it's very empowering to like come into that, you know?
Yeah. So, Peter, you're sitting here listening to all of
I'm
this.
taking it all in. I'm thinking of that. You have a picture because you damaged your hair
I did.
when you were much younger, right?
I did. I have
Yeah.
a picture. I need to try to find it. If I can find it, I'll put it up somewhere so you guys can see.
Yes.
But my hair was like bone straight. Like it was wet and like bone straight. And I've never had a relaxer. I've never had anything to keep it straight. So, and now it's very curly. So it's true. You
And
can't.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love it.
You can come back. But yeah, so are you understanding more about like curly hair journey and like how much it means to people?
Yeah, emotionally, physically, you know.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. And
It is.
Wait, hold on a second. What are you trying to say?
I'm just telling you, sometimes it takes some time to, just sitting. I gotta sit in the dryer. Sorry, 2 hours. Please, no. You guys are both, I just feel like, very successful young women.
you. Thank you
so inspiring. What are some of your long-term goals?
Yes. I mean, we were thinking about this on the way here, and we kind of have a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Yeah.
it's more so like not what's tangible, because we don't want to like limit ourselves at the same
Right.
time, but what are our true passions. And I think for me and Malia, we've talked about we maybe one day would love to do like a talk show host.
Oh,
I think that would be
wow.
really cool. And together as sisters, I think for us, like Tia and Tamara, they're like such an inspiration to us too.
You
and
guys need to meet them.
I know.
loved it. I'm like, I want to have them on the podcast.
I know. I was like, maybe you guys want to come on.
I mean, we watched them when we were super young on Sister.
Yeah.
And then seeing them now as mothers, and then also I think Tamara, right? She does the talk show host, or
They do have a
did
show.
last year.
Yeah.
Was she on The Real?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what
okay.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that would be so cool.
Definitely a
and
dream for sure.
For sure. And I think that like doing the podcast and getting comfortable hosting is something that we're learning and still growing in right now. And that's kind of like the first step. In that
Well, yeah, because
direction.
a podcast is basically a talk show. It's just like kind of on a smaller scale, you know?
Yeah.
But it's definitely a start, and I'm excited to do that. And also, I think we were talking about maybe going to cosmetology school, something that I've kind of wanted to do since high school. But like, I love hair, I love makeup, so I think being certified in that would be like an extra like plus, just because we do give out tips, and I think it would help just to be
Credible.
more knowledgeable. Yeah, incredible.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
'Cause
So
even though we have our experience with our hair, everyone's curls are so different.
Yeah.
So Malia and I's hair, our curls are so different. We have different techniques that we personally use
Right.
that don't necessarily, you know, if I did Malia's hair the same way I do my hair, it might not be the same exact
like
product or result.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
I think that for us, going to cosmetology school and even being able to maybe one day like do our followers' hair, that would be a dream. I think that, because it's so cool when we meet them, they're like, we're locked in besties.
I know.
Like, how does that even happen? Because obviously we don't know them on like a personal level. We don't talk every day. You know, we're not chatting, you know, FaceTiming and stuff like that.
Right.
But when we see them in person, I'm like,
There's a connection there.
there's
like,
a connection.
yeah.
And it's so genuine where I'm just like, oh, it makes me so happy. It makes me so happy.
And too, like, we used to do our friends' curly hair. Like, I remember our friends would come over and I'd be like, oh, you know, I'll help you. Like, whatever, like, questions they would have, I'd try to answer it. And I would, like, genuinely love doing their hair. Just, like, doing little, like, curl patterns and just trying new things just to, I don't know, just experiment, you know?
We would
Yeah.
always trim each other's hair too. Like,
Yeah.
we would
Oh, wow.
never go to salons.
Yeah,
We just
I
do,
was
like, a little trim.
deathly
Oh, yeah.
afraid of salons because I'm like, don't chop off all my hair.
That's brave. I don't think I've ever taken a pair of scissors to my hair. I'm like, better not.
Well, you let me take scissors to your extensions. And
Oh
everything.
yeah, I mean he'll
Okay.
take
Your faux
my
locks, yeah.
weaves out. He's taking out braids. You
Wow.
have gotten and very good at it, actually.
Surgical.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm a pro now.
Certify me.
I remember the first time I asked you to do that. It is kind of like one of those things where it's like you're nervous to ask, you know, somebody that you're dating to be like, I gotta cut this out of my hair, but I can't do it myself. So can you help me?
I remember it was like the tiniest pairs of scissors that you could find, and I was just like going like very delicately.
Like, don't you cut my hair.
Oh my God. That's the scary part with the braids, because you can't really tell where they end, especially if it's the same color.
Yeah.
And it takes forever to take out.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's like slightly not as long as like when you put them in, but it's still a long process. I'm like, wow.
It's all long. You get all of this time where you don't have to necessarily do your hair every single day. But then it comes
You pay
back.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pay
It's
for
a
it.
workout.
Yeah.
I've seen her. She's like up here, the shoulders.
It's a whole arm workout, right?
It
Yeah.
is.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
people ask like, man, why are your arms so toned? I'm like, doing my hair.
Take it out my hair. No, literally.
So I know we've already talked about you guys' podcast, Big Sis Energy. So I wanted to end, normally we do an advice segment, and I feel like I want to end our interview today with what is the number one advice that you guys wish somebody would have told you stepping out of, let's say, high school into like adulthood?
I think don't limit yourself and don't let other people limit you either. I think for us, it was really scary doing content creation full time because a lot of our friends' parents, a lot of our peers, they would ask us like, why aren't you guys going to college? And I think for us, college is always going to be an option. Like right now we are taking the opportunity to pursue this full time.
Right.
And I feel like we're so lucky to be able to do that. But if I limited myself and just wanted to fit in with everybody else, I probably would have ended up going to school and being in a lot of debt because our parents couldn't, you know, help us with that type of, you know, thing financially.
A lot of people's college is expensive.
It is.
And you really, I feel like a lot of people, when you do go to college, it helps to know what you want to do. And
Right.
if
For
you
sure.
don't know, then you know, you want to make sure you're getting a job where you are walking away with like being able to pay it back.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's how we kind of thought of it too, because it was like, I didn't want to spend all this money and not know what to do and then possibly not use my degree that I just spent all this money for, you know?
Yeah.
Or use the degree and then still, you know, we're making content full time. So I
Right.
think for us, I would love to go to school in the future. And I'm
For
not
sure.
I'm not limiting myself in that way either, because that's also kind of a limiting mindset to be like, oh, I'll never go to school. So I think do what you truly want to do. If it's, make it tangible for yourself and start taking those steps, even if you're still like working in a job. And let's say you want to start creating content, still create content while you're working your normal job and try to get there.
Right.
Like, that's what we did. We were still in school and we were still working a lot. We worked at the daycare, like we said, a fashion boutique, and then also our dad had a kettle corn business. So we did a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that is something that I would say is my biggest
And
advice.
to like build off of that, I think not caring what people think, I feel like easier said than done, because in high school, I don't think I would have ever done social media if we were in public school. But then once we switched to online, I was like, you know what? I don't care about anyone else. We're just going to, you know, do what's best for us, make content. And if people have something to say, I don't care. Like, you know,
Did you
and
guys
I feel like
get any negative comments, or for the most part, would you say your comments are pretty positive?
no, they're actually pretty positive, which is crazy. I'm like,
That's
people are
great.
very, very nice.
I don't know how, because that's like a lot of people's reasoning to not do social media,
Right.
is being scared of hate comments. And I'm not saying I'm not scared of hate comments, because I think if people started like tearing down my personal character, and that would hurt my like integrity a little
Yeah,
bit.
it does
And-
hurt.
Yeah.
And I think that's a normal feeling. But we haven't really had to deal with that a lot.
Yeah.
Luckily. I'm like, I don't know how we found the best little pocket of people on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, but yeah, everyone's so supportive, which is crazy.
That's great. I mean, you want to find and build community, and you want to, sometimes it takes people longer to find the right community online.
Right.
And I think that it's great that you guys found it right away and it didn't discourage you, because you were so young when you started, and
Right.
that could tear you down. So I'm happy that you guys were supported all around from your parents and from the community that you built online.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. So were you going to say anything else about your advice, or?
That was the main thing, honestly, just like not caring what other people have to think. And I'm a firm believer in like things will happen in the right timing. And I feel like that's always happened with Kenzie and I. We never force anything. Obviously, we were super consistent with content, but like really not forcing things and like letting things kind of come naturally. And I think when you do end up forcing things, you find yourself in trouble. Like, I think you find the wrong people, the wrong maybe circumstance. That would be my other advice to like my younger self as well. Just like, let things come naturally and don't force things.
Because you can only control yourself and what you put out into the world. And you can't necessarily control what happens after that. But being consistent has always really been it for Malia and I. And I think 100% there's luck in that, because, you know, us being sisters that look like twins, that's one thing that, like, you know, not everybody has that. But everyone has, I would also say my biggest advice or tip would be everyone has their own story.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to get into a career, a hobby, a job, anything like that, because you think it's too saturated. Everyone has a different story. And even Malia and I have a different story. Even though we're so similar and we grew up together, we have the same parents and all of that. We've walked in different shoes. And we both have our own personal experiences and personal advice as well.
And you never know who it's gonna touch. Like, your story might really help somebody else.
You never know.
Yeah.
You guys are so great. I'm so grateful that we had the opportunity to interview. And one of the things I wanted to say is that I saw this TikTok, or maybe it was an Instagram reel, but it was basically saying that exact thing, that like everyone has their own story. And basically, if you wanted to pursue content, that you're unique because you're you, you know? And so it doesn't matter if you feel, like you said, it's saturated or nobody's going to watch my stuff. Like, everybody's story is important and enough to share. It doesn't have to be some wild, crazy thing that makes you different. You are you, and that makes you different, and that's beautiful. So
that's so true.
I think that it is so great that you guys came, and
thank you for having me.
Yeah, this was awesome. It was so nice.
Like,
so fun.
Yeah,
I love this.
Thank you guys so much.
Bye.